Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. It is Mayegun live. Thank you for joining me. Please remember to read beyond the caption of the broadcast. That is the title. Read the description of the broadcast as well. Then like it. Like that. Share it to invite your friends and your not so friendly friends. Tell them all that Mayegun today, Mayegun is live. Tonight, we are stopping by to check on the activities of the supposed Nigeria's House of Representatives. Among myriads of problems facing the contraption, 99% of them brought upon the people by these same lawbreakers called lawmakers. If they are not making laws or pushing bills to jail Nigerians, the questions, the competence, the incompetence, the corruption and cover-ups of their leaders, they are working on rubber stamping every debt loan of call like they did under Bokwari. If they are not busy inflating or padding the supposed national budget with fake projects that they withdraw money from at the end of the day, then maybe they are fighting over committee seats or other contracts, right, within themselves. Nothing really to tackle any immediate or long-term problems of that contraption. For example, Nigeria, the supposed largest, the biggest concentration of Black people on earth can't elect their own leaders because criminality in Nigeria is rewarded, never punished. And this patriotism or loyalty that some of you want to pull off are completely criminalized, punished. It is in that contraption where you have lawbreakers who are supposed to be working as checks and balances on the executive. Rather, they became the executive's rubber stamp. So somehow, as the fever for their 2027 begins to catch some of them, they are putting in place, or should I say, they are making an attempt in their own minds of fixing the electoral system of that contraption, which they intentionally compromised without punishment. So how about we start with that? Like, for example, punishment for election riggers, bribe takers, and stuff like that. It's like punitive kind of measure. The ones that they will be willing to execute. You know what I mean? Like if you rig an election, you should face a firing squad. Those who helped you and you, the beneficiary. You know what I mean? Like stuff that you say, oh, okay, that sounds, yeah. But they won't do that because they would rather make mockery of it. So they brought a bill to their National Assembly, the House of Representatives precisely. And they were all debating back and forth passionately, right? Whether to jail Nigerians that fails to participate in election, like you have to vote. So they are trying to make a law to punish Nigerians that fail to show up or vote, especially when you are of a voting age. So to become like a punishment. They are not tackling what makes people, what happened is that it is not the participation that is the problem. I mean, there are other factors that completely compromise and jeopardize or sort of like wrecked your electoral system. And these are human errors intentionally. There are many other factors. But that people want to participate is not, also people participating is not the problem. But the result of their participation, the respect, for the sanctity of their vote, you know what I mean? Like the power of it, respect for that, by those who are going to supposedly count the vote. Nigeria is a place where when they tell you that vote doesn't count, literally what they are meaning is that it's not that people won't participate. Okay? In fact, in a normal place, they will tell you that voters are like customers. They are always right. You have to take care of them. You have to pamper them if you want them on your side, because that one vote can actually political career if it is missed. You get what I mean? Like you have to chase every vote, 1, 2, 3, and other, because every vote counts. Nigeria is a place where voters don't count. They don't matter. Their participation is just validation. Those who count their votes are the kings. Majority of the voters in this area may come together and choose a particular candidate for a particular political party, while those who are counting and those who are going to announce the tally of these votes are the kings. They are the ones. People will sit back kind of like waiting for the final announcement of the result they participated in. They already knew, only for them to, be given a fake result. And go to court is so famous in Nigeria as well, in a place where the judiciary is also part and parcel of the destruction without exception. So participation is not the problem. It is the respect and the sanctity of such vote, which Nigeria doesn't have. These guys, who most of them are beneficiaries of the same flawed system, compromised system, they are not working to make it better. So if you are given the option and say, go to jail or go and vote, I think some of you will probably choose a jail. Or now listen to their conversation on that quickly.
Mark Eset is my name, speaking for the good people of Uyo, who ran Nsiratai and Ibesiposutan Federal Constituency. The only state from Akwa Ibom State, the only state you can see in the Nigerian airspace flying. Mr. Speaker, while I thank you and other sponsors of this bill, that is a good bill, it's a wonderful one, but I have some reservations, Mr. Speaker. We are trying to put something on nothing. It is not the problem mandating citizens to vote. There is no problem making it compulsory for citizens to vote. But a situation where citizens have lost confidence in their vote, it becomes a problem, a very serious problem. And as such, Mr. Speaker, while we are making a law to make voting compulsory, we should also make a law that will make the votes of citizens count. The last election, Mr. Speaker, we can all say without shying from the truth, INEC chairman and all the INEC officers went around the country carrying out campaigns that their vote will count, giving all sorts of promises, and at the end, we saw something else. So while we are support the mandatory voting,
Mr. Speaker,
let us do the needful.
Awaji Nombeg Dagomie Abiante. I represent Andonio Pubu Nkoro Federal Constituency. I am from Rivers State. Mr. Speaker, yes, I would encourage that every man, every woman of voting age should participate in choosing who should attend to the issues of state. But in doing so, there are certain questions that I would have loved us to seek answers to. so that it will be very, very encouraging, very appetizing, very appealing to those who would want to vote. What will be the mode of enforcement? It is not just good enough that we have it in our books that voting is compulsory. How will it be enforced? My big brother, the Deputy Speaker, has referenced Australia. That certain incentives could be denied. What are the incentives in our claims? What are those things that citizens even enjoy? Is it that you'll be denied security? There is no water anywhere, as you say, you'll be denied your basic utilities. What exactly will be denied any man who has refused to vote in Nigeria? I don't think there's anything that can be denied any man that has refused to vote. Voting should be free. Some, even here in Parliament, some could afford to abstain.
So you are saying that there is nothing in government that...
Your Excellency, I am still, I require protection. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, can we, in all honesty, tell ourselves that our voter register is clean? In some constituencies, you find Mike Tyson, who is not a citizen of that place, still on the register till today. When we talk about 30% of voters, 30% of what? The voter register is not clean in anywhere. There's no constituency that you say, this register, yes, there are human beings complete on this. So if we begin to use that as a yardstick to say our participation is low, I think we have questions to answer in that regard. There are people who registered in this country and they're in Ghana, they're in the US, they're in Australia, they're in London. Who will provide the logistics for them to come? If you say it is compulsory, probably you will deny them a renewal of their passport. So how would they get to my village? How would they get to Orokoto to come and vote? Who provides the logistics, Mr. Speaker?
Thank you, Honorable Abete.
These are some of the questions that I think and believe we ought to answer.
I appreciate your questions, and they are all valid and genuine.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you, sir.
But you know...
So there they were. I mean, the two speakers, there were many of them. There were others who actually, supported it and all that stuff. But the two speakers spoke very clearly enough to say, this doesn't really make any sense. Like I said earlier, when you look at the man-made factors that compromises your election, that is no spiritual error. They are human error, and they are intentional, deliberate. They said 97 million Nigerians have registered to vote. Very soon now, they are going to tell you that INEC is doing voters register, whatever. And then the next thing they will tell you that 140 million Nigerians are now ready to vote. Where are the 140 million Nigerians? Because they actually don't really exist. For those of you who have participated in Nigerian politics, I did. As you have on record on INEC register, or INEC website rather, they will tell you that they have 176,000 polling units in Nigeria. Do you think all of the 176,000 polling units, they are actually real polling units? They are not. In Nigeria, right? This systemic rot that some people have become so used to it that they just ignore it. They want a working country that is putting something on nothing. They want a working country with a rotten system, sort of a base. INEC will create bogus, fake polling units for politicians in different there are different areas across Nigeria. And on election day, they will release voting materials, the ballot paper, result sheet, everything. They will release them to these special centers or special polling centers Some of them, they are inside their palaces. Some inside the politicians' compound. Some of them, they don't even exist at all per se. But on INEC register, you will see the name there. They will put allocated voters there. They will tell you that this polling unit, it is called boosting it. You pay them. You remember that time when I went to go and do this Green Party stuff, right? We actually approached. By who? By INEC staff. They approached us. You know, that wherever we want, we can pull a surprise. It will be 50 million naira. Maybe they wanted to scam also because there were other, there were those who are incumbents in their system that are already like billionaires who have stolen enough, which I believe these same INEC officials are working for. But 50 million naira per senatorial districts. It was up to us, and I was like, nah. Because all they had to do is it's called boosting. They load this polling unit with fake voters. And those are the areas where at the collation centers, right? These are the results that they have to add to the general supposed collated result. After using money, using thugs to, to chase people, stealing ballot boxes or destroying the ballot papers and all that. So after doing all of that, behind the scene, systemically, there are invincible votes that are coming because they are there officially on INEC register, but they don't exist. Same with some of these fake voters. So they build all these things into the system, and you want a clean system that will now say you must vote. If you don't vote, you are going to be jailed. Do you get what I mean? Isn't that a joke? So it should all start from everybody, like in their National Assembly. Because if somebody is asking me for a solution now, maybe you can let me pass this solution to them, right? Because most of my solutions, majority of you that are asking for solutions, you will never do them. Because they are not your kind of solutions. Because you are not looking for solutions. You're just looking for means of pretending to be interested in any solution. No, you're not. Because my solution is very simple. Here is one, especially for this your electoral wahala. Honestly speaking, if they can do that, maybe tinily there is a chance. And what is that? All of them, 360 House of Representative members, 109 senators, plus everybody, right? They should all, because when they swear for them, and when they swore for them, then, right, they gave them a copy of that fake 1999 constitution. It's fake. It's not people's constitution. Nobody wrote it except for a group of rogues that put us in all of this. It is the genesis of everything wrong with that contraption, and it is the solution as well. So everybody will hold that copy they gave them, that they said they swore by when they became lawmakers. They will now walk in a sort of like a ceremonious way, right? They will all walk out with that copy of that fake book. They'll put it over their head like this. They will walk out of the entire building, right? All of them walk out. And when they get to the front of their National Assembly, they will drop that fake 1999 trash. Drop it. All right? It's already tattered. They have done so much alteration, amendments, adjustments. Still, instead of Nigeria problem to subside, right? It continues to escalate. Know that, right? So they will all drop it, right? And then they will burn it. They'll burn every copy of it. Upon return back into the National Assembly, they will all go and move a motion for what is called the National Confab, where everybody will first discuss. Everyone will first discuss if they want to be together or continue to stay together, and under what arrangements. Under what conditions? Every tribe in that contraption, everybody. Again, when we now agree to say, okay, yeah, we want to be together, this is when you are going to set the template on how your election, how your electoral body must be constituted, the laws guiding them, as well as what are the punishments for electoral malpractices, electoral violence. Now, when you now set all this up, remember, everybody don't agree. I hope we will agree. I doubt that, but fine. Let's assume that we have a condition that says, yeah, once we respect this, everybody day or day, sure you get that kind of thing now, we stay together. Then you cannot, you can then agree on how you want to be governed. It is very simple. It simply means anybody that violates that agreement, right, is considered as an aggressor. So therefore, I'm a dawacho no one, kind of like